Welcome to SBTV's Money Channel. I'm Jane Applegate, executive producer. Every day, small business owners are grappling with all sorts of financial questions. We're looking for some information on retirement plans, and I'm pleased to welcome Jim McCarthy. Jim, small business owners must think they're immortal because they never want to think about retirement. When's a good time to start?
Well, I think you have to realize that a small business owner who nurtures their business past the point of inception and it really gets to be a viable entity is going to look back and say 4, 5, 7 years ago when I was starting this business, I had the ability to put away money on a tax preference basis, and I didn't do it. So that opportunity is lost to the business owner. As soon as you have covered the basic operating expenses of the business, you should really think about your next dollar going into a place where it's going to benefit you both from a tax reduction standpoint because these contributions are tax deductible, and secondly, as a business owner, you've got to fund this retirement benefit for yourself and your workers.
As the economy picks up and businesses begin hiring, how can a good retirement program attract a worker?
Well, clearly workers are aware that they're going to be responsible for funding their own retirement. So if you've got a talented individual who's going to pick amongst several employers, they're going to go to an environment which gives them the tools and hopefully some employer contribution to help them attain that goal. If they don't get that, they're going to realize that they're have this need that's not being met, and as a result, they're not going to gravitate toward that employer.
Jim, how do you determine what retirement plan is best for you and your employees at every stage of your business?
You really have to balance 3 attributes. One, what's the economic profile of the business and the workforce? Are you going to look at a plan that's going to give you the maximum contribution? If you're not looking for the maximum contribution, then you may be looking on the second dimension, which is from a workforce turnover perspective, what's the balance between turnover and retention, and do you want a plan that has a vesting schedule, for example, where you may be making contributions to a workforce that isn't there a couple of years later, or do you want to be kind of holding that back as a retention aid so that you're only delivering that value to employees that generate some willingness to stay? The third thing is administration. How much administration is your business infrastructure prepared to support? So those 3 things, if you look at them, can drive the decision. Am I looking for maximum contribution? What am I looking for in terms of coverage for my workers and how long those workers are staying with me? And then from an administration standpoint, am I looking for an electronic interface solution? Am I looking for a once-a-year contribution? Am I looking for something that supports payroll deduction? Those types of things will help somebody narrow down. We have a number of aids that are available to help someone narrow down on a plan. We also sponsor the Department of Labor's small business plan selection area on their website. So if you go into the Department of Labor's small business area, you can click on a link that will help you identify what plan is right for you.
Thanks, Jim. That was great information.
Jane, I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.